After our off-road adventure in the Pyrenees, spending time in nature, we decided it was time for something different. Instead of going to northwest Spain, where storms are occurring, we decided to go to the province of Teruel, in Aragon. This is one of the least populated areas in Spain, with only 10 inhabitants per square kilometer. Here we take on a road trip of another 600 kilometers, with 10 medieval towns and cities to visit. Part 1 of our trip. Our first stop is Calachite, a town with narrow streets, arches and balconies, typical for the architectural style in this region. And in this case, a construction site. Stop! Here, Turtle the Defender hit a lamp on the wall. We couldn't fit through, so the only way is back. Well, that did not work out as expected. So we went to the church right above the town, to look at it from the sky. After this unexpected start, we went on to the next town, Valderobres, and parked Turtle on a camper place. Valderobres literally translates to Valley of the Oaks. We walked into the old center, across the 14th century bridge and the Son Rock Gate, or Lion's Gate, because it is decorated with statues of lions that were found in the castle. At the time, I thought they were monkeys when I saw them. The streets were very beautiful, and we wandered through them, ending up at the church and the castle, which were impressive. Later that day, we decided to send a drone into the air. The next morning, we had a short drive to the next town, Beschite. Instead of walking through the town, we had planned a hike in the landscape around it. 5 kilometers from Beschite is El Paisal, a natural enclave converted into one of the last domains of the Spanish goat. Fun fact, the goats are named after the town, the Beschite Ibex. Let's go! we arrived at the entrance of El Paisal at 12:30. When we got here, we came upon a problem.
Arrived at the parking, but unfortunately the dog can not go to the hike. That's bad. We have to go back 5 kilometers to our car, and maybe we go back with the car here, leave the dog, leave this beautiful dog in the car, and then we go for a hike for 2.5 hours, but we will see.
So, we walked back the 5 kilometers back on the road and had lunch, debating whether we should drive there. Having our energy restored, and since it was still quite early, we decided to drive back again, to park the car and leave Buddy there, to finish our hike without him.
Dag mom.
Stinky.
Tot zo.
Lekker slapen.
We were so happy we did, because it was incredibly beautiful. El Paisal is a deep canyon, some 200 meters long, 60 meters high and only 2 meters across.
The end of the trail.
The end of the trail, and it's amazing here. It's the rocks are so high, you can see the sky but only just, and wow, it's amazing. Especially when there's water here, I think it's incredible. Now there's almost no water.
Unfortunately,
Yeah.
but it was an amazing day of hiking. And now we are going back.
To Buddy!
Yes,
he's sleeping in the car, we think. At 5:30 we were back at Buddy and Turtle, tired but satisfied. Since our legs were pretty much done, we watched the town through the eyes of the drone. After a restful night's sleep, next to a hermitage in the middle of nature, we had a day visiting a bunch of towns planned ahead of us. We started with an hour of slow driving to the next town. We even got overtaken by a truck. Now you understand where Teruel has gotten his name from. Soon after, we arrived at the tiny town of Mirambel, with the least inhabitants of all towns we visited. Here we could easily imagine how life would have been in the Middle Ages. The ruins of the castle, the church and shop with local products all breathed out medieval atmosphere. This town has been a source of inspiration for music, books and films. We understand why. We really enjoyed wandering in the small streets. Buddy was sniffing everywhere and made me have to spin around countless times. With the drone in the air, we could see the 13th century wall surrounding the town very well. It is the most complete and well preserved of the Teruel region. One down, 5 more to go. On to the next town, we were a bit hungry, but all the tapas bars were still closed.
It's too early for the tapas.
While driving, people often wave or give us a thumbs up.
Now this car is very slow.
Oh man,
We're going uphill and we're driving 35 kilometers an hour.
We are very slow.
Here we arrive at La Iglesia del Cid. This town has its name derived from one of the best known characters of the entire Spanish Middle Ages, Rodrigo Diaz de Vivar, El Cid Campeador, or Cid, the Outstanding Warrior. The Song of El Cid is a famous Spanish poem from the 12th century that tells the story of the legendary knight. Turtle, the defender, again has to try his best, navigating the streets and attracts attention of the locals. So not only I, but also others take videos of him. Apart from the beautiful church of La Iglesia, the vast landscapes surrounding it are to be seen. On our way to the next town, we see people waving and spot their defender a few seconds later. We love how defender owners are often greeting each other. Puerto Mingalvo is our next stop. Until its founding as a town in 1202, different people and cultures left their mark on the territory where Puerto Mingalvo sits since prehistoric times. Thus, in the vicinity of the town, there are vestiges of the Bronze and Iron Age. We did not see those. We went to lunch at the local inn, serving a traditional Spanish comida, a lunch of several courses. So we just got our food and Buddy is thinking, this smells nice. Yep.
It's aioli.
Aioli and fries, you're happy?
Good.
Good.
It's good.
lamb chops, some beef. Halfway we're gonna switch.
Kijk die kweldraden.
Buddy wants to take a bite so hard, he sends the meat flying through the air.
Nee, zitten. Zitten. Zachtjes. We already eat and forgot to take a photo.
It looked too nice. Dessert is always good.
Oh, what a beautiful car.
Wow, such a beautiful car.
It's amazing.
It's what?
It's amazing.
It's amazing.
Lunchtime.
Lunchtime done. On the go again. This is up next. Off to the next town, Linares de Mora, through winding mountain roads. Linares de Mora gets its name from the abundance of a plant in the area, of which linen is made from. It lies lower than the roads around it, giving a great opportunity to send a drone into the air again. The town is built around the ruins of a medieval castle and gets touched by the sun rays in a beautiful way. We drive to the last town of today, Mora de Rubilos. This town has Mora in its name as well, which dates from the time when the Moorish population ruled the country. There actually is another town called Rubilos de Mora, at 12 kilometers distance. These names are quite confusing. Mora de Rubilos has a large castle from the 14th and 15th century at the center, which combined military functions and a stately residence back in the day. The town was beautifully lit at night. Today we are visiting the capital of Teruel, which is named Teruel as well. The emergence and development of this city reached its peak during the Middle Ages, when a wall was built around its perimeter when it found itself in Christian land on the border with the Muslim kingdom of Valencia. It was precisely this Islamic influence that left in Teruel and Aragon the most important muhadar site in Spain. Mujedar means those who remained, and was used for the Moorish population who remained in Spain after the Christians reconquered the land. In this style, Islamic and Christian art forms are interwoven in buildings. Characteristic are the use of bricks, arches, and ceramic glazed tiles. The staircase is newer, from 1921, and honored the Mujedar style. It was built to connect the medieval with the new parts of the city. Interestingly, there was a lift right beside it, which was used a lot more than the stairs itself. After the hustle and bustle of the city, we needed some rest, and drove to a beautiful place on the river to spend the afternoon and evening. Little did we know, things wouldn't go as planned yet again, with car troubles up ahead. That's up in part 2 of our road trip.